It was a cold, rainy day. The streets were wet, and people rushed by with umbrellas in their hands. Cars splashed water as they drove through puddles, and everything felt gray and quiet. I stood under a small bus shelter, trying to stay dry. I looked around and noticed something unusual. In the corner of the shelter, there was a bright red umbrella. It stood out against the gray sky and wet streets. Someone must have forgotten it, I thought. Who left this umbrella here? I wondered. Should I take it? No, that wouldn't be right. Maybe the owner will come back for it. As I stared at the umbrella, I heard footsteps. A young woman walked quickly into the shelter, shaking the rain off her coat. She looked at the red umbrella too and smiled. "Is this yours?" she asked me. "No," I said, shaking my head. "I think someone left it here." We both looked at the umbrella for a moment. The rain kept falling, and the sound of water filled the air. "Strange," she said. "It's such a nice umbrella." "Yes," I agreed. "Very red." We laughed a little. I felt nervous, but her smile was kind. For a moment, I forgot about the rain. The red umbrella was still there, waiting. But for what? Or for who? The rain didn't stop. People walked past the bus shelter, their faces hidden under umbrellas. Some ran, trying not to get too wet. The young woman and I stood there, watching the rain and the red umbrella. "It's really raining hard today," she said, looking out at the street. "Yes," I replied. "Very hard." She smiled again, then turned to me. "Do you think the owner will come back?" "Maybe," I said. "Or maybe they forgot it forever." She laughed softly. "Forever is a long time to forget something. Maybe it's waiting for the right person." I looked at her, confused. "The right person?" She nodded. "Yes. Sometimes things come to us when we need them." I didn't know what to say. It was a strange idea, but also interesting. I looked at the red umbrella again. It seemed to be waiting for something. "So," she said, breaking the silence, "do you live near here?" "Yes, not far," I said. "And you?" "I live close too. I come this way often." She paused for a moment. "What about you? Are you waiting for the bus?" "No, just waiting for the rain to stop," I answered. "Me too," she said. "Rainy days are funny. People don't talk much, but they all stand so close together." I nodded. "Yes. Everyone is quiet." She smiled and looked at the umbrella again. "Maybe we're not supposed to be quiet today." Her words made me think. Maybe she was right. Today felt different, like something small but special was happening. I looked at the umbrella once more, its bright red color glowing in the gray light. The rain kept falling, soft and steady, as if it would never end. We stood there, side by side, watching the water drip from the roof of the bus shelter. She looked at me and asked, "Do you like the rain?" I thought for a moment. "Not really. It makes everything cold and wet." She laughed. "True, but it's also peaceful, don't you think? It slows people down." I hadn't thought about it that way. "Maybe," I said. but I still like sunny days more. She nodded. Sunny days are nice too. Then she looked at the umbrella again. If no one comes back for it, you should take it. Me? I asked, surprised. Why not? She said. It's better than letting it stay here forever. I didn't know what to say. But it's not mine. She smiled. It doesn't belong to anyone now. You could give it a new home. I laughed nervously. Maybe. There was a moment of quiet. The sound of the rain was louder than before. She broke the silence. You know, I'm learning English too. I looked at her, curious. You are? Yes, she said. I like to listen to music and watch movies. That helps me learn new words. That's smart, I said. I want to get better too, but it's hard. It is hard, she agreed. But small steps help. Like talking to new people. I smiled. Like now? Exactly, she said. This is good practice. We both laughed a little. It felt nice to talk, even if the words were simple. The red umbrella stayed where it was, quiet and bright, waiting for someone to decide its future. The rain began to slow, but the gray clouds still hung heavy in the sky. We stood there, watching as fewer people rushed by. The world seemed calmer now, as if it was taking a deep breath. She turned to me and said, "It's strange. No one has come for the umbrella." I nodded. Maybe they won't. She tilted her head and smiled. Then it's yours. I shook my head. I can't take it. What if the owner comes back? She laughed softly. I think they've had enough time. Besides, you need it more now. I looked at the umbrella. Its bright red color seemed warm and cheerful, even on this cold, wet day. Why do you think I need it? Because, she said, it's like a gift. Sometimes, things come to us for a reason. Her words made me pause. Could a forgotten umbrella really be a gift? I wasn't sure, but it felt special somehow. I reached for the umbrella, hesitating. Do you really think it's okay? She nodded. Yes. Take it. If the owner wants it back, they'll find a way to get it. Until then, it's yours. Slowly, I picked up the umbrella. It felt light in my hand, but strong. It's nice, I said. It suits you, she said with a grin. I smiled back. Thank you. The rain stopped, just like that. The clouds didn't leave, but the streets were quiet now. Well, she said, stepping out of the shelter, I guess this is goodbye. Goodbye, I said, feeling a little sad. Thanks for talking with me. Thanks for listening, she replied. And take care of that umbrella. It might bring you good luck. I watched as she walked away, her coat swaying with each step. I stood there for a moment longer, holding the red umbrella, wondering if she was right. Maybe it really was a gift. I walked home slowly, the red umbrella in my hand. The rain had stopped, but I decided to open it anyway. It felt good to hold, like it was protecting me, even under the gray sky. As I walked, I thought about the young woman. She had been kind and patient, and her words stayed with me. Things come to us for a reason. Was the umbrella really meant for me? It didn't seem important at first, but now it felt special. When I got home, I placed the umbrella near the door and sat down. The house was quiet, and I had time to think. I remembered some of the things she had said. She talked about learning English by watching movies and listening to music. She also told me small steps were important. I smiled. Small steps, I said to myself. Then I had an idea. I took a notebook and wrote down the words and phrases we used at the bus shelter. Is this yours? Do you think the owner will come back? It's really raining hard today. Maybe it's waiting for the right person. I read them out loud a few times, practicing my pronunciation. They felt more familiar now, like old friends. I turned to the red umbrella by the door. It made me think of how strangers can become part of your story, even for a short time. I have a challenge for you. Think about a small moment in your life when you talked to someone new. What did you say? How did it feel? Write about it in English, even if it's just a few words. Share it with someone or keep it for yourself. Sometimes, small moments, like meeting a stranger or finding a red umbrella, can teach us something big. As I looked at the umbrella, I felt hopeful. Maybe tomorrow would bring another moment like this. Or maybe it wouldn't. But I would be ready, with my red umbrella and a few new words to say.